Every time I look into your lovely eyes, I see a love that money just can't buy. One look from you, I drift away. I pray that you are here to stay. Anything you want, you got it. Anything you need, you got it. Anything at all, you got it, baby. You got it. And I will try to fix you.
It's a pleasure to welcome, I believe, to the first time to the chamber here, Mike Goen, who's going to speak to us on a serious issue, but something that I hope he's going to bring enlightenment to both council and to the community in the near future regarding Rare Disease Day. So welcome, Mike.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, councilmen and women. Some of you may know me from before. I have been here once before, about 3 or 4 years ago, where I shaved my head for a little girl that was dying with Batten disease. I still work with Batten's disease, which is a rare disease. Rare Disease Day is something that takes place every year, the last day of February. This year, February has 29 days, but I am doing an event at the Goodwill store. It's going to be like a bubble blowing thing. We're hoping to blow bubbles, get kids, adults, everybody blowing these bubbles. And we hope to blow over 7,000 bubbles to represent over 7,000 worldwide rare diseases. As there is over 7,000 worldwide rare diseases, there is 350 million people in the world that suffer rare diseases. If you put all those people in one country, it would make the third largest populated country in the world, just with people with rare diseases. Most of these rare diseases are fatal. Batten's disease, the one I do, is 100% fatal. There's 4 different types. There's an infantile, late infantile, juvenile, and adult Batten disease. All of these are fatal. The one I've dealt mostly with is the late infantile, which is the most common of the rare disease. And it gives the child a lifespan of 8 to 12 years of age. This little girl that I represented before, Katie, passed away exactly 1 year ago on the 25th of January. I do have a poster that I do put on. I don't know whether you can see it here, but these are all children that passed away. And I put on here, like, shine a light on Batten disease. And during this thing on the 25th, I want to release a balloon to represent each one of these children that are on here. There's 13 of them on here. In Canada, there's only basically 12 children that have Batten's disease or had Batten's disease as of this date. This little guy here in the middle, or here, is Ray. He lived in London. He passed away last year. He has a little sister, May, who is also has Batten disease. She is 7 years old, so basically she has anywhere from 2 to 5 years left of life. It's not a pleasant life. Children that have Batten disease become bedridden. They're tube fed. They become blind. They're obviously unable to walk or talk. They basically become vegetated. They have utmost amount of seizures constantly every day. They are controlled to some degree, but they still have these seizures and jerks that they have from it. It is partially controlled, but not totally. Some of them can have up to 200 seizures a day before they're controlled. This here is an oil barrel that Harley Davidson in Kitchener put out for Katie when she was in the hospital last year. Hoping to help the family with their expenses and that, but she passed away before that. I've talked to them and they've decided to leave that barrel in their store, and everything that goes in it is going to be donated to Batten's disease research. On the February 28th at the Goodwill, Harley Davidson is going to bring this barrel to the Goodwill, hopefully get some spare change in it, and help fill that barrel to support research. This is the poster. You may have already seen it. I noticed the mayor has it inside the office in here, already on the board. That is for that particular day that I'm doing. Batten's disease is most common in the United States, but it's also common in Finland, Sweden, and in Canada it is common in Newfoundland. Now, while these children don't live in Newfoundland, most of their parents came from Newfoundland. And I'm not sure why that is, but that's where it basically originated from in Canada. But the top here, it says, join us in making the voice of rare disease heard. I'm asking people in Tillsonburg, I'm hoping, will come out to this event, support it, help us do these bubbles, help us release some balloons. I'm going to have prizes that I'm just going to draw for, and they're donated by Harley Davidson, Domino's Pizza, and there's more donations coming in. There's some from Swiss Chalet here in town. There's some from Tire Craft out here on the highway, or on Simcoe Street, and the pet store out at the mall. And I'm hoping to get quite a few more prizes. And Tim Hortons as well has donated to that. So that will all take place on the 28th. Even though it's not Rare Disease Day, Monday is not a very good day to do that, so I decided to do it on the 28th. And I will supply the balloons, and I will supply the bottles of bubbles for people to come out and do that. All I ask is that they put some change in that barrel, and possibly, if anybody wanted to, I collect pop cans, liquor bottles, beer bottles, wine bottles, and I do that year round. For that family in London, to help May and her family. I did it for Ray and as well when he was alive, but now it's just May, and I still continue to do that. And once a month I take a load of pop bottles and pop cans and beer bottles and all that up to London to help them with their expenses and that. So anybody wanting to bring those that day, I'd be glad to throw them in my van to take them up to that family. They possibly may be here too. Now, on rare diseases, there is, I just found out just recently, within the last week, there is a little girl right near us in Stratfordville. Her name is, you may have know of her, Isabella. I'm not sure of the disease she has. I do know it is fatal. I do know she will die within the next year or two. Her brother has already died. He had it as well. It's a genetic disease, inherited. And I'm not sure what that disease is, but she is located in Stratfordville. And I do want to find out what that disease is so I can also promote that at this here. And there'll be a girl from St. Thomas, I believe, here. Her and her mother. The little girl has something called EB, which is epidermis bullosus. You can't touch her. If you touch her skin, it'll blister, peel, get infected. And it does, it's not 100% fatal, but it can be if she gets too much of these infections, it could end up killing her. And she may be here at this event as well. That's basically what I have. If you have any questions or...
Well, thanks very much, Mike. I commit that Mike was in with a lot of information just a few weeks ago, and his passion and experiences certainly, I thought, deserved at least sharing that, the opportunity with the community to highlight any way we can the event that's going on the 28th. Are there questions for Mike at this particular point in time? Councillor Adam, please.
Thanks, Mr. Mayor. Through you to Mike. Mike, I was just on so the event's on February 28th, and it's being hosted where?
At the Goodwill store.
Goodwill store, okay.
I'll be in there with the booth all day, and then I'll do the bubble blowing, the balloon release about 1:30, 2:30, and then I'll do the draws right after that.
Okay. And will there be any information posted where people just, if they need a reminder, or is there...
I'll have all these pamphlets. I'll have a little booth there set up with these pamphlets. I'll have my big ribbon that I have, which I have out right now on my balcony, and it's all lit up for the shine of light on Batten disease. And I've had that out there through Christmas, but I'm going to leave it out. I took all my Christmas lights down, but I'm leaving that ribbon out until the Rare Disease Day. And that'll be there too, and anybody there that wants to know anything about rare diseases or Batten's disease, I'll be there. My grandchildren are heavily into it as well. They will be there too.
Okay, thank you.
Hopefully anyone that subscribes to Rogers, gets the Tillsonburg News, or listens to the radio here locally will now, through your presentation tonight, also know of this opportunity. And okay.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Stevenson, you have a resolution, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. It's moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Esseltine. The council receives the delegation regarding the Rare Disease Day event as information. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. You've heard the delegation and resolution to receive as information. Discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Resolution's carried. Thank you. Thanks again, Mike, and for being with us here this evening, and good luck. And hope to see some of that marketing around the community as well. Our next delegation